Welcome back to the pod. It's the monthly What's on My Mind portion. So, simply put, it's trade deadline in a couple weeks. I love trade deadline. Get to do a little bit of my favorite activity in baseball called roster construction and what might be possible good trades for whatever club I so wish to play with or multiple clubs. I saw a thing where Milwaukee has checked in on Tarek Skubal. We won't know if he's available until it's like 48 hours until deadline because of how messy the AL is, and Detroit's going to try to do this thing called thread the needle, apparently. But on more serious matters, at work, had a segment on medically assisted suicide. And I'm like so against it, it's not even funny. People who are so immoral, who think that is a good idea, those people deserve to be listened to, but their ideas should be thrown out the window, and then they should be promptly educated on why their idea sucks. And quite frankly, in the U.S., we're dealing with, or a lot of the Western countries, you see a lot of morally questionable decisions and ideas and behavior. And it all boils down to how to make people more moral and friendly. People need to be more involved with their community, more neighborly. And even for those who don't necessarily go to church or are believers, there are a bunch of people in the ages of about 35 and younger who are joining a church or going back to the church for the first time. I say the church, I mean like the church is like a whole like body, either Protestant, Catholic, or Orthodox, doesn't matter. Most of the growth we see is in Catholic and Orthodox circles. A little bit in Protestants, but not so much. Mostly driven by the guys for some reason. And so both, it doesn't matter, there's still growth. Bible sales are still up. I have to double check that, see how they are compared to last year. But going back to church or going to church is a good thing. It helps teach morals, and it's a community, and communities should and neighbors should be helping each other, quite frankly. Churches also will gladly help people or point you in the right direction, and if they don't have the financial capability to do so. Kind of needs to happen. Like we had a weaponized shooting like in the Madison area where a violent guy had slashed a knife at cop and got killed, and all of a sudden protests showed up naturally. And there wasn't a lot of good footage from my understanding until later on, and then there was like a report and all that, so to clarify that yes, the guy was armed with a knife and started slashing. The thing with those cameras is depending on what time they're turned on and what angle can show different aspects, and then all of a sudden goes into who do you hold at a higher standard. Quite frankly, the point is a guy pulled a knife and started slashing, and then violence was met with aggressive, lethal force. But there would be less criminals if more people would be more neighborly and attended church and all that. It's disappointing. It's frustrating. And there's a couple episodes coming up in terms of guests, or at least one. Try and book one, and then the other one I just flowed past like an idea today where I sent it off a text. One we're looking at bringing on in terms of cultural topics. She's a reporter she writes for multiple different publications, trying to book that. And then there's a gal who is doing an internship over at my church. I'm going to see if she wants to come on and talk as well. Talk about like more faith topics and church growth. That would be the idea. But that's generally what I'm thinking. But otherwise, should be an episode coming up this week. And all the socials as per normal in the description. Until next time.